For using the quadratic formula, I'm going to start on the right side of the page with number 2, which says that 3x squared minus 7x plus 2 is equal to 0. If we're solving this with the quadratic formula, then x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. If you are writing your quadratics all in standard form, which is the ax squared part first, bx plus c, then it should be really fast to plug in the numbers to the formula. B is going to be in the middle, so we have negative 7 plus or minus square root 7 squared, but I'll put negative 7 squared minus 4 times 3 times 2 divided by 2 times a, and a is 3. We'll simplify. Negative 7 makes a 7, plus or minus 7 squared is 49, 4 times 3 is 12, and then 12 times 2 is 24, divided by 2 times 3 is 6. X equals 7 plus or minus 49 minus 24. 49 minus 24, 15? Nope, 25. 7 plus or minus the square root of 25 divided by 6 is equal to 7 plus or minus 5 divided by 6. And then I'm going to separate this. X equals 7 plus 5 divided by 6. And this would be equal to 12 over 6, which is 2. X is also equal to 7 minus 5 over 6, which is 2 over 6, which is 1/3. Excuse me. So then the two solutions for this question are x equals 1/3 and x equals 2. Next question. Number 3. X squared minus 5x plus 1 equals 0. It's in standard form. A is 1, B is negative 5, C is 1. So x equals negative 5 plus or minus square root negative 5 squared minus 4 times 1 times 1 divided by, let me make sure that I copied that right. Yes. 2 times 1. Simplify. 5 plus or minus square root of 25 minus 4 divided by 2. X equals 5 plus or minus the square root of 21 over 2. 21, I don't think it's going to factor. It's a 7 and a 3. Those are both prime, so it doesn't break down any further. So then we could leave it like this, but you do need to know that this means that x is equal to 5 over 2 plus square root 21 over 2. And x equals 5 over 2. You could put 2.5 if you want. Plus, not plus, minus this time. Square root 21 over 2. It's really important that you actually do separate the plus and the minus versions, the positive version from the negative version, because that's where the mistakes happen most often. Your most common mistake is going to end up being whenever you're doing the positive version and then whenever you answer the negative version. You will just mess up with the signs of it, and then it'll give you the wrong answer. So that one was really easy. Let's go to number 10. X squared minus 10 minus 7x plus 10 equals 0. It's already in standard form, so x is equal to a negative 7 plus or minus square root of, never mind, I was going to skip a step, but I won't. Minus 4 times 1 times 10 divided by 2 times 1. X is equal to 7 plus or minus 49. Inside of a square root, I'll make that a little bit neater. Minus 40 divided by 2, which is equal to 7 plus or minus square root of 9 over 2. X is equal to 7 plus or minus 3 over 2. So then our final answers will be 10 over 2 or 4 over 2. That's because I did 7 plus 3 over 2, 7 minus 3 over 2. Five and 2. If you feel like I'm going too fast, you can play the YouTube video slower. If you want me to go even faster, you can increase the speed. Number 14. These are just examples. I'm not trying to do your homework for you. X squared minus 2x minus 5 equals 0. X equals negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c divided by 2 times a. So x is equal to 2 plus or minus the square root of 4. And then I have two negatives, 4 plus 20 divided by 2 equals 2 plus or minus square root of 24 over 2. Let's see if 24 factors. 2 and 12, 2 and 6, 2 and 3, 2 of a kind. So x equals 2 plus or minus 2 square root of 6 divided by 2. Everything has a 2 in common, so I can factor the top 2 out to be 1 plus square root of 6, 1 plus or minus square root of 6 divided by 2. And then these 2's can cancel. What you don't do is you do not cancel these 2's like that. That does not make sense mathematically, or it's going to give you the wrong idea. You really need to factor the 2 out, and then you can cancel it out. So then our answer for x is equal to 1 plus or minus square root of 6, which means x equals 1 plus square root 6, 1 minus square root 6. I'll do the last one on your homework, 19. 2x squared minus 6x minus 10 equals 0. X equals negative b, so 6 plus or minus square root b squared 36 minus 4ac, so 4 times 2 times 10 is going to give me a plus 80 divided by 2 times 2. equals 6 plus or minus square root 116 divided by 4. Let me double check that. Yes, 116. Let's factor 116. 2 and 58. 2 and 26. 2 and 29. And then 29, I don't think has any factors. So we have a pair of 2's. X equals 6 plus or minus 2 square root 29 divided by 4. The top numbers at least have a 2 in common. So 3 plus or minus square root 29 divided by 4, which means that x is really equal to 3 plus or minus square root of 29 divided by 2. This 2 and this 4 reduce to be just the 2 on the bottom. So that means our final answer would be x equals 3 plus square root 29 over 2, 3 minus square root 29 over 2. Please separate your answers.